Pre-Islamic Arabia. The book explores the social, political, and religious conditions of Arabia before the advent of Islam, setting the stage for the Prophet Muhammad's mission. The early life of the Prophet. It details the birth, upbringing, and early life of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, including his character and the first revelations, persecution, and Hijra. The trials faced by the Prophet and the early Muslims during their time in Makkah, leading to the migration, Hijra, to Medina. Key battles and diplomacy. The book highlights major battles like Badr, Uhud, and the Trench, alongside key diplomatic events such as the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, conquest of Makkah, and final sermon. It concludes with the peaceful conquest of Makkah, the Prophet's farewell pilgrimage, and his final sermon, where he outlined the core principles of Islam. Safiur Rahman Mubarakpuri was an esteemed Islamic scholar, born in 1943 in India. Known for his profound knowledge of Islamic history and Hadith sciences, he authored more than 17 books, with the Sealed Nectar being his most celebrated work. In 1979, this biography was awarded first place in a prestigious global competition organized by the World Muslim League in Makkah, Saudi Arabia, recognizing its excellence in historical research and presentation. Mubarakpuri dedicated his career to educating the Muslim community and preserving Islamic teachings. His works are praised for their clarity, accuracy, and accessibility, making complex historical and theological concepts understandable for a broad audience. The Sealed Nectar stands out as a testament to his dedication to spreading the life and legacy of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to the modern world. He passed away in 2006, leaving behind a rich legacy of Islamic scholarship. The Sealed Nectar, Al-Rahiq al-Maktoum, is a meticulously researched and highly detailed biography of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, offering a comprehensive view of his life and the monumental impact of his mission. It begins by setting the historical and social context of pre-Islamic Arabia, a period known as Jahiliyyah, the age of ignorance. This part of the book helps the reader understand the prevailing customs, tribal conflicts, and widespread idol worship, showing just how revolutionary Islam was in reshaping not only spiritual beliefs but the social fabric of the Arabian Peninsula. The early life of the Prophet. The book follows the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ from his birth into the noble Quraysh tribe in 570 CE, through his early years as an orphan, raised by his grandfather and uncle. Safiur Rahman Mubarakpuri sheds light on how, even as a young man, the Prophet was known for his impeccable character, earning the titles Al-Amin, the trustworthy, and As-Sadiq, the truthful. The author emphasizes the significance of these traits, which would later play a crucial role in his mission to guide people toward Islam. The first revelations at the age of 40, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ received his first revelation from Allah through the angel Gabriel, while meditating in the cave of Hira. This moment marks the beginning of his prophetic mission and the start of a spiritual and social revolution. The book describes the challenges the Prophet faced as he began preaching monotheism in a society deeply rooted in polytheism. It explores the early stages of Islam's spread, highlighting how only a small group of followers, including his wife Khadija and close companions like Abu Bakr, embraced the message in the beginning. The struggles and persecution in Makkah. The Sealed Nectar goes on to detail the intense persecution that the Prophet and his followers faced in Makkah. The Quraysh, who were the custodians of the Kaaba and the leaders of Makkah, saw Islam as a direct threat to their power and livelihood. The Muslims faced boycotts, torture, and isolation. Despite the hardships, the Prophet remained patient and steadfast, continuing to call people to the oneness of God, Tawhid, and preaching equality and justice. The book dedicates substantial attention to these years of hardship, showing how the Prophet's endurance and unshakable faith in the face of adversity set an example for Muslims throughout history. The eventual migration, or Hijra, to Medina marked a pivotal turning point, allowing Islam to take root in a more supportive environment. The Hijra to Medina. The Hijra in 622 CE was not just a physical migration. It represented the establishment of the first Islamic community, or Ummah. In Medina, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ acted as both a spiritual leader and a statesman, creating a multi-ethnic, multi-religious society where the rights of Muslims, Jews, and non-Muslims were protected under the Constitution of Medina. This document, often considered one of the earliest examples of constitutional governance, laid the foundation for a just and ethical society focusing on mutual cooperation, social justice, and respect for religious diversity. Mubarakpuri presents this period as a testament to the Prophet's wisdom in leadership and diplomacy, highlighting how he built alliances, managed conflicts, and handled internal challenges, all while maintaining his mission of spreading Islam, key battles, and strategic decisions. One of the critical aspects of the Sealed Nectar is its detailed account of the key battles that shaped early Islam, such as the Battle of Badr in 624 CE, where the Muslims, though vastly outnumbered, triumphed against the Quraysh forces. This victory was a significant morale booster for the Muslim community and demonstrated that faith and divine support were central to their success. The book also covers the Battle of Uhud and the Battle of the Trench, or Khandak, showing how each event tested the Prophet's leadership, the unity of the Muslim community, and the lessons learned from both victories and setbacks. For example, the loss at Uhud came as a result of disobedience to the Prophet's instructions, teaching a valuable lesson about the importance of discipline and trust in leadership. Mubarakpuri's descriptions are not just about military tactics. He emphasizes the Prophet's humane treatment of prisoners and enemies, underscoring his emphasis on mercy and forgiveness even in times of war. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah and the conquest of Makkah. Another key event discussed in the book is the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. This peace agreement between the Muslims and the Quraysh, though seemingly unfavorable to the Muslims at first, ultimately paved the way for the peaceful spread of Islam. Mubarakpuri explains how this treaty allowed the Muslims to focus on spreading Islam to other tribes and regions, eventually leading to the peaceful conquest of Makkah in 630 CE. When the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ entered Makkah victoriously, he granted a general amnesty to all his former enemies, showing his unparalleled forgiveness. This moment, as detailed in the Sealed Nectar, is a profound lesson in mercy and the ethical principles of Islam. The Prophet's entry into Makkah without bloodshed marked the fulfillment of his mission in uniting Arabia under the banner of Islam, the farewell pilgrimage, and the Prophet's legacy. The book culminates with the farewell pilgrimage in 632 CE, where the Prophet delivered his famous farewell sermon. In this sermon, he reiterated the core values of Islam: the sanctity of life, equality among all human beings, regardless of race or status, and the importance of justice and moral conduct. Mubarakpuri emphasizes the timeless relevance of this sermon, which continues to guide Muslims in their moral and social responsibilities. Following the Prophet's passing later that year, the book reflects on the profound legacy he left behind. The Sealed Nectar concludes by highlighting the transformation that took place over the 23 years of his prophethood, how the message of Islam spread not only throughout Arabia, but also laid the foundations for a global civilization that would continue to flourish for centuries.